With just over a week to go until the NHL trade deadline, you know that Carolina Hurricanes general manager Don Waddell is a very busy man. You know, Waddell was interviewed recently by Sirius XM Radio and The Athletic, and clearly talked about his wish list. And at the top of the list was a top six forward, but he also talked about a right shot centerman. And I think this is an area the Canes have been looking to shore up for a bit of time now. Of course, they were very much interested in the discussions around Elias Lindholm before he went to Vancouver. But you know, since Vincent Trocheck went to the Rangers, the Canes have kind of been short in terms of right shot center guys. And this has been an area of concern that Waddell has going into the playoffs. So he wanted to take a look around and see what might be available, and there are some players that might fit the bill. You know, he's definitely got the assets to get a deal done. They're not going to need as much for the players that I think might be available, probably draft picks, maybe a prospect here and there, and of course they'll need the cap space, but they have all of those. So the Canes are in an excellent position to make a deal to solve this particular concern of Waddell. So let's see who's out there. We got to look at, of course, Nick Bujgstad with the Arizona Coyotes as a potential guy that could fit the bill. He's definitely a big player at 6'6". He's a solid defensive player. He has a little bit of offensive acumen, 17 goals last year. He's got 13 this year. So Bujgstad would add some offense as well as, of course, his strong defensive work. And again, he's solid in the faceoff dot. Greater than 50%, several seasons in the league. And of course, he's a guy that could definitely help with that particular concern that the Canes have. So I think Bujgstad is a player that will be available from the Coyotes. They signed him to a 2-year deal last summer. So he's got another year on his deal at 2.1. So that would be good for the Canes. And I think he could be very much on their radar. Another guy that could be on their radar is Minnesota Wild centerman Freddie Gaudreau. Now, Gaudreau is a guy that had an excellent year last year, 19 goals on the season, and in particular was outstanding on the shootout. If you take a look at this, he had 8 goals in 13 shootout appearances last year, and you can see why with this beautiful goal that he scores against Jacob Markstrom of the Calgary Flames. So Gaudreau would be a nice add. Again, very strong in the face-off dot. He's got a longer-term deal, $2.1 million again, but till 27-28. So he's a guy that I think would add a lot. He brings some offense. He's definitely a good, aggressive player. He works hard on the ice. And I think Freddie Gaudreau would be a nice add for the Hurricanes for sure. If the Canes decide to go cheaper and with the UFA, they can look at Sam Carrick, again with the Anaheim Ducks. Carrick on an $850K deal that terminates this year. He's got 8 goals on the year. He's not going to bring much offense, but he definitely is solid in the face-off circle, greater than 50% a number of seasons in the league. And he's also a guy that brings a lot of energy, and he plays a little bit of an edge. And I think all of those things would be of great interest to the Hurricanes. So definitely some options out there. Bujgstad, Gaudreau, Carrick, and there are others will definitely be on the radar of the Hurricanes as they try to solve this concern for a right shot centerman that can really help them in the faceoff dot. So lots of activity with Waddell. We're going to keep you totally up to date on everything that he's doing this week as we head towards the deadline. And of course, we'll keep you up to date on all the Canes news right here on Storm Tracker.